Hey guys, welcome back to World Mechanics. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. Today will be super helpful video to any of you having a Fiat 500. It could be any engine, diesel, gasoline from year 2008 to currently year 2022. If you have coolant leak, antifreeze leak, we'll explain the most common places where you can develop one and what to expect. Now we'll be demonstrating on a 1.4 engine, but even if you have a different engine, it will be very similar and we'll explain why. Before we start, let me just tell you guys, there is one thing when draining the coolant. If you don't do it right, later you add coolant, you can actually overheat your engine and destroy it. So make sure you stay till the end. We'll explain what it is. Every single car we get here at our garage, we try to make at least 200 to 300 free repair videos. Why we do that? Because our mission in the shop is to save you as much money as we can. All we need, guys, in return, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. That way we can keep making these free videos. And if you need to buy coolant parts, tools for your Fiat 500, and you want to get them at a really good price and quick shipping, check out the link in the description of the video below. That's where we get all our tools and supplies from. So that's the coolant. Most of them use the red coolant now, and where you can develop leaks. Now when those coolant reservoirs start getting old, often they can crack, guys, okay, and they can start leaking. So that's we've seen that quite often, especially on the thinner lines like this one. It can crack, come loose, and you can develop a leak. You need to inspect, guys, every possible coolant connection and see where the coolant leak is coming from. You have, for instance, auxiliary coolant pump on some models, and you have that pump I've seen sometimes develop leaks there as well, or where the hoses connect to. But now, right here underneath, okay, check this thing out now. You will see there is one radiator hose on top. If the coolant leak comes kind of like from underneath the bumper on the front side, it could be a leaking radiator. But check radiator hoses and connections. You have one radiator hose there. You have another hose, guys, okay, going right here as well. And that one goes, okay, right here. You will see that's the coolant hose, okay, right there. That's where it's going towards the top. That's all that is just coolant hose is going to the bottom, radiator hose. Okay, so there is a three-way that sometimes develop a leak as well. But quite often we will see here, guys, sometimes, okay, the water pump is driven by the serpentine belt. It's belt-driven pump. It's inside the belt cover, and if it's coming from the from kind of like the belt area, that coolant leak, it's a sign that it's very likely we have a leaking water pump. But right here now, okay, that's where the upper radiator hose goes to. And here you have a few multiple lines as well. This is the thermostat housing. That's where the thermostat is. The gasket, if it fails on the thermostat housing, it will start dripping coolant, kind of like on the transmission housing and the engine block. Here, that's the coolant temperature sensor. If it's loose, it may be leaking. And that line right here, people will often break that one when removing it or working on the car. And if you did, it will develop leaks as well. Now, every time you guys drain the coolant on these modern cars, when you add coolant, don't just start driving them. You have to bleed the cooling system. If you don't bleed the cooling system, you can severely overheat the engine, and that can practically destroy it. We'll be making a video how to bleed cooling system on Fiat 500. Hopefully the video will be helpful. Thank you for watching. See you next time.